Alright, so this is my project proposal for the PEACJUST1A03 class. For this project, in thinking of which project theme or topic that I should choose, I just decided to do something in which I was genuinely interested in and also have sort of a personal idea as well as, and like as a Black person, it was very interesting to kind of learn and understand some of the topics that we were studying in this class, and I wanted to further move on and further research upon some of the topics. So for example, here the main project which I would like to propose is racism, specifically scientific racism in Black communities. So in this project proposal, I would like to work on scientific racism with a medical anthropological view. I would like to specifically focus on racism on Black communities in terms of health, so access and issues. Next, I would also like to kind of construct or provide an idea of the argument on how race is a cultural construct and not biological, and how scientific racism had sort of pushed this idea. So, as mentioned before, I would like to use medical anthropological research papers as well as a point of view. So for the specific topic focus, as well as the cases and themes, I would like to go into the history of scientific racism in African American societies, as well as its effects. So these include both the past and the present effects that are included in modern day. I just wanted to highlight a lot of these themes. I wouldn't go too much in depth into the podcast, but I did want to mention them, and I would like to form a sort of coherent argument or thesis in regards to this. So, for example, some specific cases which might be studied would be a more modern example of Bidal, which is the African American drug for heart diseases, and how scientific racism was a major factor in its creation and its production and testing, as well as the possible effects of such thinking. And then another idea which I wanted to study, like a historical event, was the Tuskegee syphilis study. So in doing this, I wanted to kind of draw upon how these past occurrences might have some sort of a relation into current issues within the healthcare system. So specifically, I wanted to look at social inequality in terms of like kind of drawing the themes together and how these other issues might be a result of scientific racism, specifically in the healthcare industry. So basically how science has been used in justifying ideas of class superiority and racism. Okay, so for the topic format, the content of my research will be presented in a short podcast format. So I was thinking between 10 to 15 minutes long. And then I also wanted to do an interactive informational brochure. So this is going to be super short, just like a little brochure that would go maybe be in the background of the podcast. And it would just like have like the main points and like some drawings or like kind of like graphics to be on there for visual purposes. So specifically in regards to the short podcast, I will discuss my findings and research in the podcast, as well as kind of tie in how the topics relate to the course understanding as a whole. Alright, so that is all that I have for my project proposal. Thank you for listening.